Good afternoon, E39 source. Today, I will be instructing you on how to replace your camshaft positioning sensors the correct way in a 2001 BMW 540i E39 sedan. To remove your engine cover, it's a fairly simple process that should take you roughly 30 seconds. What you've got to do is you've got to depress all 4 of these pins on top right here, and you're just going to lift the engine cover off. The only thing to be wary of is that these cars are 10, 12, sometimes 13 years old. So what you have to be careful of is there's a little rubber sealer on the bottom of this that can fall off, peel, and just get into your engine where it shouldn't be. So just be wary of that and remove your engine cover. After you remove your engine cover, your engine should look something like this. What you're going to want to do next is to start to remove your air filter system. The next step is to remove your MAF plug. What you're going to need to do is press down here, put both thumbs under the plug like this, and pry up that direction. Be very, very careful. Do not break these wires. Do not screw it up. These wires are very expensive, and you will be in a good bit of money if you break either the wiring to the MAF or the MAF itself. The next step is to remove the air filter housing bolt, which is a 10mm bolt. And the step after that is to remove these hose clamps right here and right down here. Once you have those disconnected, you can go ahead and remove your air filter housing cover and remove the filter from inside. To do that, you're going to need to remove 6 clips, one here, one around the back side, underneath here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. You're going to go ahead and pull your MAF out of the car, and then after that, you're going to remove your air filter box. After you loosen this clip, to get this completely off, you're going to need to remove this 10mm bolt holding this in right here. Once you do that, you can push this piece over to here and out of your way. The next step is to remove the 5mm Allen bolt connected to the camshaft position sensor. What you're going to want to do is once you get that bolt out, the camshaft position sensor is going to pull right out. Now you're going to de-wire all the wiring going up here for the sensor. Just follow it up to here, and then you're going to want to unplug this. Unplugging this is very easy. All you're going to do is press this little plug right here in, and then pull this out and up. Once you get your sensor out, it should look like this. Just unwire it and wire in the new one. This is what it should look like once you get it out, including your old O-ring. Make sure you are replacing that when you replace it with your new one. You don't want to reuse old parts like that. So, now that you have your old sensor out, you can go ahead, get your new sensor, get one of your new O-rings, and go ahead and take your new sensor and wire it into place first. But before you plug anything in, wait for the next step. Once you have it wired back in here, it should look much like this. You're going to have to spend some time wiring it back underneath all these other wires. It's a real pain, and it's quite a bit dirty, as you can see by my hands. So just take your time, don't break any wires. Remember, everything in here is old, so just take your time and be careful. Next step. What we need to do is we need to prep this down here. Before we just plop this in, we need to take our new O-ring and coat both the O-ring and the very little edge of this where the O-ring would sit in a little bit of engine oil. So what we can do is it's actually best to use older engine oil that's been used slightly. So just go ahead and move this out of the way. No big deal. Just take your time. Be careful with all these parts. And use a little bit of oil off your dipstick. That'll work fine. Just make sure your hands are decently clean when you do so. You don't want particles of dirt, obviously, in there. So just use a little bit of engine oil to lubricate this, and then slide that right onto your sensor here down to the base, it should look something very much like that. It's going to be sitting right about like this. It's not going to look like it's quite on enough. There's going to be another little lip right here, just like this one. But what you're going to do is you're just going to say, okay, the O-ring is fine, the sensor is ready. Just pop it in there. It's going to go in until about that far from the whole way in. Then you're just going to give it maybe like 2 pounds of pressure. It's just going to pop right in. Now, the way to tell if it's in correctly is you can look right there and see that there is no gap. That means it is in correctly and you are ready to put your Allen key bolt back in. Once you get that bolt tightened down, you can go ahead up here and you can just clip this right in, making sure that that wire is not in the way. This should clip right into place. With the intake tube back in place, you're going to want to tighten down this clamp right here, and you're also going to want to put in your 10mm bolt right here. If you kept track of your bolts, it will be this one. The next step is to take your MAF and your air filter box and stick it back into place. Follow complete reverse procedure to put all of this back together. The next step is to begin removing the sensor on the driver's side. What you need to do is just remove this little bolt off the sensor, unwire it, unplug it, and remove it from the vehicle. It's a lot easier of a process than the passenger side because you have no air filter box in the way, you have no intake in the way, there's just nothing in the way. It's right here, you can get to it no problem. There's your little Allen key bolt, and just follow the exact same procedure you did on that side. When you remove it from the car, it should look just like this. Just like the one from the passenger side. And what you can do is you can go ahead now and put the new one back into the engine. Now that you have your second sensor installed, you can go ahead, look at the 2 new sensors, make sure all the wires are connected, and you can put your engine cover back into place. And we're done. This is what it should look like when you're all done. It should look just like it did before you started, obviously. So, you can actually see one of the new camshaft position sensors. Now you know what it looks like. You can see yet one more new part under the hood of your E39 540. For other E39 models, it is very much the same, just slightly different. For the M5, I'd imagine there are probably 2, and there are probably in relatively the same location. Anyways, I hope this helps some of you with an E39 540 with a M62TUB44. This will probably also work on the M62TUB46 in the X5, but it'll probably be slightly different. So, thanks. Hope I helped some of you out, and I'll see you in my next E39 source video.